They were mixed-sex conveniences, and a cause of much inconvenience, truth be told. Her mama was convinced, and settled down to her luncheon with gusto. Rosa returned a half-hour hence, cheeks flushed, but otherwise unharmed. She cast me a grateful glance. I could only hope a little amour would not blossom into outright scandal. My God. I am in roaring health. Have some. I bet you love it. Grooming himself. Time on board trains takes a meditative quality. I danced like a Kazakh. The dining car, having consumed an indiscreet quantity of vodka, the Kazakh soldiers cheered me on mercilessly and placed a fox fur cap on my head when I finally collapsed on the floor in exhaustion. I thanked them weakly. Unable to muster any great reserves of courtesy, they laughed good-naturedly at my incapacity. You are an able dancer, Passapartout, they pronounced, and helped me back to my carriage with a much ribald mockery. Nice. Yo, you want to talk about stuff? Greetings, Dagestan, or Dagestan. Tell me about Vladivostok. Yo, freaking Yokohama, though. Indeed, freaking linked to Yokohama by a Korean trader, but it's still going. Oh, okay. What about Manila? I believe so. I knew a woman who designed parts for the steamship, Gates of the East, from Yokohama to Manila. Thanks, gamer. Wow. Don't need that one, actually. I need to go east, but that's okay. We're doing our best. Is that the airplane route? It might be. Not sure. Omsk today, we decanted a full score of British, Dutch, and German merchants. You know, might be a good idea. A full score of British, Dutch, and German merchants, and took on more military officers, who cleared an entire first-class carriage for the use of a mysterious couple. I caught a brief glimpse. Grief glimpse, Jesus. I've been talking so much here. I caught a brief glimpse of, the man. Before the carriage door slammed, he had a pale brown skin and eyes of a scholar, but was dressed in the fashion of the Ottoman court, rather than the Russian Imperium. I was fairly overset with curiosity, but it would be several days before I encountered the couple again. Here you go, Fog. A game whilst with you? Of whist with you? How enjoyable, right? I know. Greetings, ma'am. How I despise this job. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, can you tell me if this goes to Pyongyang? Probably, but you can pick up handheld mirrors in Pyongyang. Extremely valuable in San Pedro. Whoa. What about Ustaraisk? Enough talking. I'm sorry. Jeez. Lordy. You need to go west? Maybe. Rosa absconded once again, and her mother caused quite a ruckus in the breakfast car. Apparently, the girl is affianced to a rich, rather stiff-looking German merchant who boarded at Omsk. I predict this comedy of errors will come to no happy end. At the sunset over the taiga, Monsieur Fogg expressed a mild boredom with the monotonous view from the carriage windows. My own, rather more dire feelings may be extrapolated from this foggish understatement. My God. Good luck. Oh God, Beckons just died. I'm so sorry, Beckons. Rest in peace. Fogg. I was trying to give you the help that you needed, Fogg. Oh God, I didn't mean to converse. I fucked up. Fogg, I just wanted to fog you up. Fogg. We crossed halfway mark on our journey today. In the morning, we wound up the Angara Valley towards the mining camp of Irkutsk, the great city of Siberia, where some passengers were leaving to join routes south to Mongolia. We waited while the luggage was unloaded. Why would anyone travel in that direction? We waited. We waited while the luggage was unloaded by leisurely porters and mojiks. until the whistle blew and the train's engines wound up once more. Our journey continued. And by afternoon, we had reached the magnificent expanse of Lake Baikal, as clear as the finest crystal, bounded by flower-banked cliffs on the western shore and containing a thriving, raucous population of freshwater seals. The track ended at the lake's edge, but the great train showed no signs of slowing or stopping. I began to feel, as my master would say, a little perturbed. Now, my friends, this next sentence will seem to you the invention of a madman, but I assure you it is utter, unvarnished truth. We drove straight from the shore onto the clear water of the lake, causing barely a ripple. I looked out of the compartment window and saw the wheels pulled up, and zotalors! The train was hovering in the air through some unseen mechanism. Wow. I looked for the tracks. I could only just see them against the gleam of the lake. They were cunningly built upon the pontoons, which only just broke the surface of the water. Though we did not touch them, what sort of train was the Trans-Siberian? I contrived a meeting with the mysterious couple, though, to be strictly accurate, I knocked over the red-haired woman. Entirely accidentally, she was very game about the whole unfortunate incident and introduced herself as Madame, Ksenia Petrovna Volkova. Oh, I apologized profusely. By the time where she clearly felt rather sorry for me, to the point where she clearly felt sorry for me, invited me back to her heavily guarded carriage. Her companion turned out to be an engineer by the name of Sinan Yahudi, who seemed lonely and eager to converse, was more prisoner than companion. He wanted to hang out and he was lonely. He was lonely and eager to converse in any language other than Russian. He had defected from the Ottoman sultans to the Russian Tsars some years ago, and was the genius behind the rapid construction of the Trans-Siberian Railway. He seemed reluctant to talk of it, so I changed the subject to lighter topics. He had a particular fascination with minerals, and could hold forth on them for hours. I listened eagerly, nodding and exclaiming at the most obscure facts, which he revealed to me with relish. Oh, like hot dog relish? He rummaged in his bags and presented me with a chunk of glittering green malachite. "This was mined in the Urals. It will want you to have it, Passapartout," he said. "It has some value. I hope it'll be used to you." The hour grew late, and I took my leave. Madame Volkova thanked me for entertaining her companion, and warned me to say nothing of what Monsieur Yehudi had told me to anyone, with a smile that belied her light-hearted tone. A strange day. It is a strange day. Can we get a little soft BG music? Probably should, huh? Oh, God, it's just like, it's so quiet other than me. Hang on 1 second. You got just the thing, chat. There is little to report on the outside world, so a word today on Russian eating habits. More specifically, the Russian distaste for regular meal times. I met a fellow Frenchman today who said to me, "The Russian meal is a guide to the Russian character." What? I begged him to explain further, and he obliged. "The guiding principle of the national cuisine is that all dishes must be capable of being served at any time the eater feels disposed. He sacrifices his finest susceptibilities to his love of freedom." I can't keep reading. I resolved to keep his thought in mind on future approaches to his dining car. If our locomotive suppers are not triumphs of culinary art, they are at least signal examples of logistical achievement. Okay. Hell yeah, dude. Pyongyang, be careful. Oh, yo, wait, we could probably go down there to Manila, probably do some crazy shit to port, and then go that way, maybe? Ooh. We pulled into Kamenskaya at noon. From Kamenskaya, it was possible to branch onto the Chinese Eastern Railway to Beijing. And we took advantage of the opportunity. Beijing, huh? Chat, where's Beijing at? Hey, Beijing! Arrives. Oh, got him. What? Airship? Cool. Do we want to go to Beijing? Yeah, let's go. Fuck it. We took advantage of the opportunity, slipping from the train onto the cold platform. Zip. Karamskaya. Fug. Valuable in Manila? Are we going to Manila? I could be mistaken. Hey, that's that chunk we got. Nice. Knitted gloves, good for cold conditions, part of cold climate set. Undetermined whether you're going to Manila? That's fair. I feel like we already passed Brisbane. Knowing my luck. But we'll see. Shoot. Brisbane's in Australia? Oh. Dope. Nice. Alright. Alright, chat. I'm buying this rock. I just got a suitcase of rocks. We'll do it tomorrow, bud. Maybe. Okay, cool. Go to bed. Sleep well. Watch your money, my dude. Dude, 340 pounds will get you, like, at least, like, halfway across the world, right? Right. There was no moon in Karamskaya, and not even a barking dog marred the silence of the luminous Siberian night. The only lit building bore the copper lily of the Artificers Guild. Wow. I knocked at the back door, eager to find company to help pass the long, cold night. A dwarf with long black hair, rouged lips, and thick brass goggles opened the door. Whoa. I bowed and introduced myself. As a foreigner to Karamskaya, looking for conversation. Welcome. Coming out of the cold then. I'm Nadezhda Yehivmova. We walked through a squalid corridor into a room lit with a bright electrical lamps. The artificers sprawled on low sofas and greeted me with beery enthusiasm. The human form automaton ushered me to a seat and handed me a drink with mechanical precision. I can't talk today anymore. All of my talking tongue is gone. I accepted the drink with a grin. The small gears in the automaton's face whirred to produce an answering smile. The hours passed quickly in good company, and we shared many outlandish tales. I complimented their hospitality. And Nadezhda clapped me on the arm. It has been a pleasure sharing our fire with you, Passapartout. She answered. Nope, she reached in a pocket and took out a copper medallion with the Artificer's lily stamped upon it. Take this, present it to any member of the Artificers Guild, and they'll be bound by it to help freaking offer you help. I thanked them for their generosity and wended my way back through the dark streets of Karamskaya, a city lit only by the brightness of the stars and the pale, ethereal glow of the northern lights. I feel like that's pretty useful. So, I'm gonna explore. Took a few hours to explore, investigating the various options for how we might continue our journey. Did it work? Probably. Alright. That would be 840? What? Jeebus. Homie, how and why? I can't even afford that. Fudge. Aw, no problem, Croano. I should probably put a hard limit on how long I play these kind of games, though, before... You know what? I think we'll go until P-break on this game, and then we might switch it up, because I can't keep talking. I can't keep reading and talking. I mean, I can talk, it's just... Oof, it's so much different. We boarded the Chinese steam train at Karamskaya Station. It was a smooth journey until we reached Zabaikalsk, where there was a change of gauge from Russian to the Chinese rail. To relieve the tedium of waiting, I brought the master tea. I sang a few French songs. I attempted to better understand the mechanisms the engineers were using. Have some tea. In his usual fashion. Well steeped with a dash of milk, served just shy of boiling, he took a long sip and settled back in his green leather seat with the smallest of contented sighs. Yay. I like to imagine I keep grooming him. Like I use a mustache comb or something on him every time. We restarted our journey a few hours later, only for it to yet again be interrupted by Chinese customs officials at Manzoli. They were as brusque as Russian officials. Clearly the bonds of bureaucracy overrode those of nation. They stamped our papers with the square ivory seals, leaving distinctive red cinnabar mark. Wow. Have some more, master. You're welcome. He enjoyed it. Today we reached Mukden. It's Muk's Den, famed for the King Imperial Palace. Alas, there was no time for exploration, for here our train divided, half going west to Pyongyang, and the other half turning east to Beijing. Bye, Beijing. No, I'm sorry, bye, Pyongyang. I gathered our bags as the train pulls into Beijing, swaying with the weight. I collided with a Chinese woman seated in an aluminum spoked wheelchair, like a leaner, more maneuverable bath chair. Her clothes were fraying. A sleek little engine poked out from under the flaking leather seat. She said something sharp in an unfamiliar language. I responded in my native France. She tried another language, this one harsher and more guttural, but equally baffling. She said what sounded like Ruski? Privyet! I greeted, a feeling a great sense of accomplishment when she smiled in return. Oh, sick! I offered through a smile of mime, through a process of mime, to help her disembark, but she shook her head and pulled the brass-handled lever at her right side. The engine underneath her chair sputtered to life and lifted her wheelchair several inches into the air. Before my astonished eyes, she floated from the train to the platform and landed gently. Wow. She gave me a jaunty wave and motored away from her own away under her own power. I wondered what other wonders Beijing would hold. My God. Beijing. You want my false transport pass? You can have it. I hope you like it. This is mine now. Stetson hat. Whoa. Whoa. Bye. You're very loud. I regarded the manager. Whoa. The manager of the bank we entered, a small man who greeted us with desperate enthusiasm. You want to make a withdrawal? The manager asked. You have to wait a day or two. Well, I'll take 3,000 in 3 days, sir. We require 3,000 pounds, I said, mocking his tone. The manager drew a sharp breath. I will have to communicate with London first, of course, he apologized. I should have a reply in 3 days. Working? It seems, Monsieur Fogg remarked as we left. We have some time to dispose of. Dope. Well, all things considered, might as well explore a bit. New routes discovered. Wow. Chat, look at that route. Yo, you guys want to go to Hong Kong? There were no airships sailing across the Beijing sky, nor any evidence of electrification, though the Chinese did not shun all technology. Palanquins were drawn by intricately worked and gilded iron lions, as often as human servants, and I saw animated metal and jade dragons. Whoa. That snapped and glared at passers-by, perhaps to discouraging thieving. Furthermore, I was lucky enough to catch the performance of the famed Suishi Opera. The cast consisting entirely of hydraulic elegances, automata by another name. I was told it was an ancient tradition, begun over 1,000 years ago by Hyong Gun, an engineer who had made Suishi wine pourers and musicians, dancing girls and acrobats for his emperor's court. True? Perhaps so. But the opera itself, my friends, it was a glorious spectacle. Though there were few props, the Suishi were extravagantly costumed and capable of acrobatics that would press the most athletic and flesh and blood actors. We were guests of a Manchu court official who clearly believed us to be spies or troublemakers of some nature. Despite my innocent expression, which was wearing rather false after so many international escapades. As we departed the auditorium, I slipped away from our host and went backstage. I made a polite inquiry about the Dowager Empress Sixi. Slip backstage. I slipped away from the host and went backstage. My friends, I assure you, only a fraction of the theatrical dramatics take place on stage. My progress was quickly barred by a stage manager wearing a carved jade hairpin and an irate expression. What are you doing here? I wish to congratulate the automatons. I'm an artificer. I'm a performer myself. I'm an artificer. I lied, showing her my medallion. I have come to inspect the automata. Everything is good order, the stage manager grumbled, and then gave me a weary look. Come with me. She took me through a narrow corridor to the dressing rooms, where flesh and blood actors were sitting across from automata. An orchestral engineer was removing the porcelain face. Removing the porcelain face from one of the automata with delicate care. Up close, I could see that the smooth surface was an illusion. The mask was assembled out of 1,000 interlocking segments, which moved according to the mechanisms within. Greetings, I said, and was about to add that we were going around the world when the engineer scratched the porcelain with her screwdriver. The entire dressing room hushed in horror, while the engineer herself whirled upon me in a fury. My apologies, madam, if I startled you. Is it serious? I looked at her blankly. My apologies, madam. Do you know what you have done? It's ruined! Utterly ruined! She cried. She threw the once priceless mask upon the floor. Get out! Oh, God. I picked up the discarded mask, slipping it into a spare pocket before the stage manager ushered me out of the crush with crossed arms and a stern look. I made my way back to my lodgings to meet up with Monsieur Fogg. A pair of opium addicts were slumped in an alley, faces blankly blissful despite the emaciation on their limbs. Glancing in my pocket, the perfect automata face stared implacably back just as empty as emotion. Just as empty of emotion. My God. Do it, do it, do it, do it. The hotel was too expensive. We had another 2 days to wait for our transfer of funds, so we made ourselves as comfortable as we could. Yes. Oh God, we're dying. The days passed painfully slow. We spent the last night on the steps of the bank itself, right there once the doors opened. Relations with Fogg have deteriorated slightly. I'm sorry, Fogg. I'm sorry. We returned to the bank at opening hour to collect our funds. Then we were ready to proceed once more. We're rich again! Yay! I knew it happened, chat. This is way cheaper. Negotiate. 620. Not worth it. That way. No. Let's play the most interesting looking games. Oh, thanks, Lime. How you doing? Okay, chat. We're going to Hong Kong. No, we're not. It departs tomorrow. We can wait one more day, right? Like, is it that big of a deal? Probably. Yo, there's the mask. Yo, we could sell it. But it's worth $6,200 in Gastown. The town where they invented gas. Oh, what's up, C4? Thanks, boo-boo. Alright, we'll just take another hotel. Thanks, Flapjacks. Photoshop, LOLOL. And Mr. Mild Sauce and Mama Max. With what remained of the day, I afforded my master every service. Yay, we're back up. We're Gucci again. We're boys again. Take my money. Let's go. We boarded the Beijing Express for the next leg of the journey, through China to Hong Kong. Here you go, Fogg. A close shave indeed, sir. I love you, and I gave him a little kiss on the cheek. From Beijing to Hong Kong was another 1,000 miles, but the train line took a clever route that avoided most of the large towns entirely, running without stopping by the shortest route possible. I passed the time by playing Find the Lady again, waiting on my master's needs in conversation. In conversation. Trying to find options for our next journey. I fell in with a cheerful Siamese woman. And a pleasant, if unproductive conversation, whom I quickly abandoned as knowing nothing. I'm curious. Whom I quickly abandoned as knowing nothing. Evening turned to night, and I dipped out of there. Okay. Screw you, lady. You're not educated. I'm out. The countryside fell away, to be replaced by busy, bustling worker towns. Large industrial plants belched steam into the air, and mechanical contraptions stalked between warehouses. I watched with fascination as the countryside turned to the beginnings of an urban sprawl. This would be a city of dirt and filth, and yes, excitement. My favorite kind. Music box! 200 schmecks! A friggin' gun? This isn't America! Why do you got cowboy boots too? What? Okay. Shizzle. Hong Kong is lit. You gotta plan for your American adventures next. That's true. That's true. Man. Hong Kong is Texas. What hast thou found? Oklahoma. I was looking over a bolt of navy Chinese silk when a man accosted me. This man had a mustache so fine, so luxuriant, so well tended, that I briefly lost the power of speech. I watched, mesmerized, as it quivered with his every word of introduction. His name was Fix. He offered me a drink, and given that I had a few hours